Good morning, Modern Steaders. I was like a kid on Christmas Eve last night, guys. Morning, chickens. We went and picked up, we're making the video on today. I picked that up yesterday while I was out, and I haven't opened it, but I've wanted to. So, I can't wait to get the animal chores done this morning, and then we can get on with the best part of the video. Yep, that tire didn't hold air very long. I have to order a new tube for that. I'll give you one peek to the new toy over there. Oh. It was hard for me to put it in the shop last night, not open the box. But I figured I had to wait so we can do this all together to see what we're getting. 2 weeks ago now, we were working on cutting down some trees for our new spring project, and I was having issues with my chainsaw that day. And I got a few comments about battery operated chainsaws. Enjoy your breakfast. It's gonna be a nice one today. And one of you, I wish I could remember your name, sent me an email talking about the Lynx battery operated chainsaw from Harbor Freight. Good morning, girls. Oh, look at that. The girls are loving this warmer weather. So I started researching the Lynx battery operated chainsaw from Harbor Freight, and that led me down like a deep hole of researching battery operated chainsaws. Then I found out that Harbor Freight just came out with a new line, the Atlas battery operated professional chainsaw. They claim for this to be a professional chainsaw. You ready? I know. Saying, Al, you're talking too much. We want our breakfast. There you go. Watch out. There you go. When we get in the shop, I'll go over all the claims they make about the chainsaw, but there's quite a few. They talk about being a professional chainsaw, it cuts faster, it cuts better. So, I started geeking out about all these chainsaws, so we made a purchase. And when we get in the workshop, I'll show you which one we ended up getting. I decided to go with the Harbor Freight Atlas chainsaw. I will say one of the first things I really didn't appreciate right away was that they don't sell a kit. You have to buy the tool only, the battery, and the charger all separate. They do make two different chainsaws. They make a 40 volt, 16 inch battery operated chainsaw, and they make the 80 volt, 18 inch long bar battery operated chainsaw. I went with the 18 inch. It was a little bit more money, but price wise it wasn't that much of a difference, so I figured let's go with the bigger one. And let's see, they claim it cuts 4.5 times faster per charge, over 75% longer run time, more power than a professional 50cc chainsaw. So they have a lot of claims here about how good the saw is. The other reason I went with the 80 volt chainsaw is with the 80 volt battery. You can use it in the 80 volt or the 40 volt, or the other one, a tool I'm really looking at is the pole saw. I can use this battery in my pole saw. So those are a few things that I kept in mind when buying it. Which one's more versatile? I haven't opened it, guys. The only thing I did when I got the tools is I opened the charger and the battery because I wanted to get those charging. The charger I got was the rapid charger. I think it was like $10 more, but it's supposed to charge this battery in 45 minutes. So I'm definitely curious to see how long it runs. I definitely got it boxed up pretty good. Not sure how this is supposed to open, I guess. All right, slide it out one end. I've been itching to get in here and see what everything's like. All right, here's the saw. Is there any more literature in there? I don't think so. Oh, here we go. Here's bar and chain oil. All right, so we got the bar and chain oil, and then we do have a regular chainsaw tool right there. So it says batteries not included, 18-inch long bar, maximum cut in diameter 32 inches, weight 9.8 pounds. I'm assuming that does not include the battery. Cordless chainsaw, chain tensioning wrench, scab blade cover, and it comes with oil. So not only is this my first Atlas chainsaw, I've never had a battery operated chainsaw. All the other chainsaws I've had in the past have been gas powered. I own a Husqvarna. And we'll get the Husqvarna over here and we'll do a little side-by-side comparison in a minute. So this is an owner's manual for both their chainsaws. So first of all, let's get the cover off. Comes with a chain. I didn't know if it was gonna have any stampings on it, saying if it was like an Oregon chain or not. But I'm not seeing anything. All right, it's got a chain brake. Tensioner seems a little loose. Bam, put that cover back on for now. I will say without the battery in it, it's very front heavy. It's not balanced, but that battery weighs a lot. It's got a trigger lock. You gotta push it in to turn it on. It's brushless. It still needs bar and chain oil. There we go. I like that. They have a little string on the cap so it can't fall out. That's nice. So bar and chain oil, keep away from children. They give us just enough for one fill up. And they give you enough to fill up about maybe half of that. So you don't even get one top off. No, I guess the way they want you to fill it up, if you go here, that is fill. So that is filled right to the top. So when you're filling it up this way, you only want to be about half full, because when you put it this way, it would pour out. It makes sense. Take this off and see what... Alright, that's kind of neat. Those nuts are encapsulated, so they stay in the cover. So we don't got to worry about them losing them if we take them out in the field working. I like that. So we have our regular sprocket that our chain runs in. We got our tensioner here. We got the guard to catch the chain. If it breaks, it's not going to come out. This chain is reversible. We can flip it over upside down and put it on each different side. So if you want to flip it over to keep your bar in good use, that is reversible. We got our grease point right here. Stick it back on. Right. I was always taught you want to be able to put like a penny in between there. You can put a penny in there. Good. If you can't, it's too tight. So that's good right there. Let's tighten it back up. So when I'm running a chainsaw, it's usually my Husqvarna 345. Right now I have a 16-inch bar on it. I do have an 18-inch bar that I use on it. So I'm just trying to see, like I would think, I don't know what the CCs are on this, but I would think it's got to be pretty comparable to the Atlas, where they have the same size blade and everything. So this saw definitely weighs more. The Husqvarna weighs more than the Atlas. The Atlas is longer and narrower, where the Husqvarna is shorter and fatter. There is a lot more movement in the Husqvarna, so that's supposed to take away the vibration of the gas-powered engine running. With the Atlas, we don't have that. Let's check out the battery. It's the Atlas dual voltage. If you're running a 40-volt tool, you have 5 amp hours, where if you're running the 80-volt tools, you have 2.5 amp hours. This is the biggest battery I saw that they had. We do have a power indicator here, so we're full. So that's pretty much the same as my DeWalt, except we have 4 bars versus 3. But let's put it in. I'm curious, once that battery is in, weight in the hand, how does it feel? Is it more balanced? It's still heavy here, but it doesn't kick down. Whereas if I take the battery out, if I hold it here, it definitely wants to sag forward. With the battery in, it's more balanced. It's pretty even. It still feels top heavy, but it could just be because the bar's out there and the longerness, but that's balanced in the hand. Man, I like that so far. It's got a nice flat bottom, so you put it down, it sits. The plastic feels a little bit more plasticky than maybe it should be for a tool. Like, it just feels like it's kind of brittle. That could just be the finish on the plastic. I will say I was able to buy the extended warranty for this, 2-year replacement for $38. I said, what does it cover? He said, it covers everything. It doesn't matter what you do to the saw, you bring it in, we'll replace it. I said, you gotta have the receipt. He said, nope, you just gotta give us your phone number that you purchased it under and we'll be able to track it. I said, I'm gonna be making a YouTube video on this and I'm gonna be putting it through its paces. He said, awesome, doesn't matter if you break it, putting it through its paces, whatever you do to it, we'll replace it. So we were forward with the guy. So hopefully that is true. If we break it today, if it breaks on us at any time in the next 2 years, we get a brand new chainsaw for 38 bucks. So I'm hoping it's good and we don't need to replace it. But I think right now we've covered everything. If there's something in here on the saw that you don't think we covered, leave it in the comments down below and we can do another video if we want to get more in depth on different things. Leave it in the comments down below and we can do that. Let's take this outside and cut up some trees with it. Even though it's not gas powered, we should still bring our earmuffs. All right, so today we're gonna be testing it on some apple wood. Then we got some good sized apple over here that we'll try cutting on too, and we'll see how this works. I will say one of the things I like, if this was a gas powered chainsaw, right now if I was getting ready to cut, the chainsaw would be running. Let's take my earmuffs off. I'm curious to see for the first time with electric, it's not. We just push the safety in and pull the trigger. Okay, so there's a delay. Push, pull. Yeah, that's loud. But as soon as you pull your finger off the trigger, it stops. But there is a delay. It's about maybe not quite a second, but there's a delay. When you pull the trigger, it takes a second for that chain to get going. All right, let's see how she cuts. It is loud. I'm surprised how loud it is. And I like how it stops so fast without the chain brake on. But that cut, nice and smooth. It's kind of funny because you can feel it cutting. Where in a gas powered, there's all the vibration from the gas motor running, and you don't feel a lot of what you're feeling when you're cutting with a battery operated chainsaw. Interesting. So that goes with like an electric car or like a Prius that's gas and electric. A lot of the times when a person's first driving them, you can hear so much more road noise because you don't have the gas engine running all the time. It's the same thing with the electric chainsaw. That's definitely interesting. I like that. You have so much more control over it. You feel like you do because you can feel it all. You can feel when you come into the end, you can feel how straight you're cutting and how smooth it's going. I would think if you did chainsaw carving, that a battery operated chainsaw might be better for that because you have more control. Wonder how it is using just the tip. Bam. And with a gas powered saw, you'd be standing here listening to the gas engine running. I'm really liking that because so for us working on the homestead, if we're going around trimming brush up, or if we got to cut a limb down here and there, I'm not having all that noise. I can set it in the back of the mule, drive around. It's not hot. It's not running. I don't got to worry about it stalling. The goats aren't going to get scared off as easy if You're working with somebody, you can hear them. That to me is one of the best parts. We'll cut up some of this wood and then we'll go cut a tree after. We have some more trees we need to clean up, so we can do that. Let's see like a back cut how it works. If I am. I wish this piece wasn't frozen in the ground right now, but does not like the frozen wood. Battery's still full. But I guess that's probably not a fair test. It's frozen. Well, let's see if we can get through it, whether it's fair or not. Man, I just... All right, we're through. Now that is frozen apple wood. I mean, you can see it's frozen there. So that's, I mean, it cut it. It's half dead wood, so I'm impressed. Let's check the battery out. We used 1 bar cutting that, and then, I don't know, probably 10 other slices. You know what? Let's cut 1 more slice out, then we can see what we were working with. Not liking that, that's for sure. Still got a good size battery. All right, we gotta tighten up the chain. It's getting heated up. You can see the oil is working. After we finish cutting with this chainsaw, this cut, I'll take out my gas powered saw and we will see how that one does on this piece of wood. At least that way we'll have a side-by-side comparison to go against. That's good. All right, it cut it. She was definitely smoking. Get it out now and see. That was a good size piece of apple. It's warm. That's what did it, guys. That's what killed it. There's a bunch of dirt and crud right here that we cut through. Frozen dirt, and there might even be some rocks in there. Don't ask me how. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to sharpen. Yeah, that's what did it. It killed the teeth. If you look right here, I'm gonna go sharpen it in the house. If you look, there's rocks right here. I cut through a rock. Well, we know it'll cut through a rock. Let me sharpen up the blade. And, that's just frozen crud. Yep. All right, so we'll sharpen up the blade and then we'll recut it and see how it does. We'll cut back here. All right, so I just went over and I re-sharpened all the teeth. I thought about charging the battery, but I didn't. It's a real life test, real world test. This is real life. You know, when you're running your chainsaw, stuff happens. Sometimes you hit a stone, you didn't know it was in there. So let's go back out and with a sharpened blade and see what it's like. Give it another cut and see how it goes this time. Now it is a big log. It cuts it smooth, and it cuts it nice. It's nice and smooth on the hand, but it wasn't super fast. I'm gonna grab my gas saw, and cut one with the gas saw, and we'll see how it does side by side. So that is a good sized log. See how this one cuts it. In editing, we'll have to see side by side which one was faster. I'll time it. It seemed pretty close. This one might have been a little bit faster, but we'll see. Two cuts out of each of the same log. Let's bring it up and we'll cut down some green trees. This wood has been sitting for a little while, so sometimes that makes a difference too on the hardness. Green trees always seem to cut easier. So I want to dig in really good with my teeth and see how it works. Get some good leverage. Watch your toes. Alright, find our binding. On that cut, I was really leveraging on that bar, and I mean, it still cut it good, and it cut it smooth. Some of the stuff that I'm really surprised about is how smooth it cuts. And then right here is a good dead piece of apple, and apple wood, some of the hardest wood, so that'll really dull a chain. And that was the back cut. Check the battery. Okay, so 2. I'd be curious. I don't have any other battery operated saws, but I'd be curious to test it to other ones and how they would do it. Look how good those are grown in there. So ideal conditions, no. But good for a real life test, yes, because this is the kind of stuff you run into all the time. So let's do this. The blade's getting pinched again is our issue here. Not sure why. down to 1 bar. So I bet you we can make one more cut, finish this tree off, and then we're gonna have to charge it. Now, like any other battery operated tool I use, when it gets very low on the battery, it really starts acting up. Like if you're using an impact driver, it doesn't drive as good, even though it says it still has a little bit of charge left. So same with this, it's really starting to bind up now and not cut as good, but that's because the battery life is low. Yeah, that's not liking that one bit. Yep, it's dead. Showing 1 bar, but nothing. Let's go over the pros and cons about the saw and what I liked and what I didn't like. First of all, I like the way it feels in your hand. It's got a good weight, it's balanced good when you're cutting. I love that there's no vibration of a gas motor. And one of the things I really like is when you're done cutting, you take your hand off the trigger, it's quiet. You don't have your gas chain running constantly. It cut good. I'm curious, I'll have to look deeper into see which chains we can get for this, like for replacement chains. Do I have to get a Harbor Freight one, or does Oregon make one? My thoughts with the battery operated chainsaw, where I'm going to use it for, is if we have to go out on the farm and we have to cut branches, cut a tree that's fallen down, or clear a little bit of brush, this will get thrown on the back of the mule and we can drive around and we can have it. It's easy, it's lightweight, it's more convenient. You don't have to try to pull and have gas in your chainsaw and see if it's going to run. If your battery's charged, that's one thing. You got to make sure your battery's charged, because if your battery's not charged, you won't be using it. It's the next day. I just got done editing the video, and after editing the video, I don't think we got enough time with the saw to say yay or nay one way or the other. Does it work? Yes. Is it better than a gas saw? I don't know. We need to get more hands-on time with this saw to really be like, yes, this is the saw. I definitely see where it has its good and its bad features. So we're going to keep running it and doing some more work with it on the Homestead. What are some different things you'd like to see us doing with it? Leave in the comments down below. Are there other battery operated chainsaws we should compare this one against? What are some things we should do with it? Thanks for coming along on our Homestead journey with us, guys. I really have fun putting tools through the paces like this. If you want to see the video that I was talking about where we just had a terrible day using the other chainsaw, I'll put a link to that video right here.